G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. The weather report, pardon me, 15's the coldest they were saying on the radio this morning, and 27 is going to be our top. So yeah, look, that's nice weather, nice working weather. Sounds like the shed's echoing a bit. I've been running flat out still, tidying up the shed here, but all the shelving that was coming through about where the camera is sitting now is gone. We pulled all that down through the week. We'll take it for a walk a little bit later on and just show you what we've been up to. But look, it's been a very busy week. Just in the shed here, most afternoons I've been coming straight up the back here and doing a bit. And yeah, look, all last weekend, all last weekend, I actually had Thursday off this last week. I said to dude, look, I just feel like I'm slogging away getting nowhere, so I took Thursday off and I came home here and yeah, got a lot done actually. And pardon me, a little frog in my throat. And yeah, look, it was a good thing. It gave me that little bit of a boost I needed to catch up. So so this back section here now is done. My pigeonholes at the back are pretty well full. The bench over to the side there, it still needs dealing with, but look, it's not too bad. I've got a beautiful spot here now, like a lovely working bay here now, and yesterday evening before I went up to the house I pressure cleaned all the floor out, and part of the whole process of this was to get everything up off the ground, so I've got about so much room under all the benches. So as time goes by, you know, with benches all the shit gets under there in the corners and builds up. So I'm trying to set it up so once I do a job and I get a bit of oil on the bay there, I can run through with the pressure cleaner, wash the whole bay out and away we go. So still behind the camera there I have the TE20, the 954 TE20 and the 135 multi-power. The TE20 is going to come back here into this bay so I can deal with that bay. The 135 multi-power, I'll just have to clean around it because I haven't got wheels on it yet. So, but look, we'll work away with that, that'll be okay. We're going through a process at the moment of putting a 6 metre by 9 metre carport out the end of the shed here, where the old follow shipping container was. Yeah, the council reckons we have a shed there, and we don't have a shed there, so we reckon, well, if the council says we have a shed there, we have a shed there, we'll have one. And so we're going to put that up. I've just been talking to people about prices on that. I got a friend who works at a steel place, but I didn't know until the weekend, and I rang 3 places around town here. No, sorry, I emailed 2, rang 1 last Wednesday, still no reply on a quote. But anyway, I got on with my friend Aaron this morning, and he said he'll have one to me today from where he works at Steel Line. So that's a step forward. We're getting there. We had a few purchases through the week, and we ended up with a couple of Makita, a Makita nut driver and a drill. Now, my old drill, which is a Makita one, I've probably overdone it a little bit over time, and when I put it to hard work, I can hear the gearbox jumping a little bit, so in low gear. So we're just we'll actually trade tools. Had a special on, and for $3.49 you could get this, 2 3-amp-hour batteries, this fella here, and the complete charging setup. So we took the opportunity to do that. Just the skins are worth well over $100, and in Bundy Bear here, the 3-amp-hour Makita 18-volt lithium battery, they're over $100. So we took the opportunity to grab that while we could, just to see how it goes. If you can notice, I've got the Sparex and the LSA signs in the background. over the years, you can see the John Deere sign up behind my head up here. That way, one of them ways. And, I took that from over near the big door up the back, just I like the sign. Just an interesting thing. On the Vintage John Deere Tractors Australia website, Facebook page, yeah, one of those signs sold for $3,500. It was in better condition than mine, but anyway, mine's not going anywhere. It can stay there for a while. But what I've done over the time is on front of just above my blue toolbox, you can see the little BK PDA driveline sign. But over the years, as the business has grown and we've shifted shops, and back in 2013 we got flooded out badly and a lot of signs got wrecked then. The suppliers, when we set up, they sent us new signs, so and I just tucked a lot of the old ones away, so I'm a bit sore on the legs today. I've been up and down these bloody ladders putting signs up, and just putting them around the shed just as a bit of a point of interest. And you may as well have them on display as do nothing with them. So yesterday I was up and down ladders, and what was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 12, 15 signs up and about. So I was up the ladder, down the ladder, measure, bloody get this things, and get up there and oh shit, I forgot something, come back down the ladder. So I'm a bit sore around the legs today, but I do have plenty of tools and sockets and all to clean up, which I think we just about bought trade tools out of socket rails the other week. We're setting up drawers over here for that, which will free up other drawers in this box here, but the benches here are still a bit of a mess, but we'll certainly get there. The LSA sign there, we've asked LSA would they like to support the channel with the oil for the tractors. They haven't heard back yet. I suppose they've got to have a bit of a yarn about it. We've been selling their stuff for years, and it's all we ever use. We don't have anything else. The coolant we use are theirs, the grease and everything. So I've asked them would they like to support the channel, help us out with oil for our restoration. So who knows, they may or they may not. We'll just see. If they don't, we'll put another sign there. Doesn't matter. We did quite a lot did happen through the week when you look at it. These were our old Queensland Tractor Spares. That was our old stubby cooler that we've had. Oh look, that design is over 20 years old. We just had a blue one with Queensland Tractor Spares and our phone number on it, and the websites. But over the week, in the background I've been working away, and we've rebranded all the stubby coolers with our more modern setup, and that's the back of it there. They're just a nice bright cooler. That's the hard bottom one, and then for posting we have a folding one we've made, same on both sides, but when you have a beer you can see the YouTube logo. How flash is that? So the signs out in front of the shop are all this colour. That's the colour we had, but it's white, and we did the original stubby coolers with white here, and with the white we thought with dirty hands and all that it wouldn't go real well, so the Bundy Bear shed coolers, which I probably don't have one here, they have this grey that fades into darker at the top there, where it's probably going to get a bit dirty, so we've done them. They're for sale at Queensland Tractor Spares, and I don't know, if you spend probably $500 something like that and do a bit of a deal, buy a clutch kit or an engine kit or something, ask them, they'll probably give you one. It depends whether they like giving the boss's stuff away or not. Most people don't mind giving the boss's stuff away, don't they? Well, just on the bench here, Renegade Tools have got a little drill set. These are just crackers, I've got a couple of them, but this one has lasted me just on 5 years, and you can see I've lost a couple, broke a couple. But it goes from 1.5 to 6.5 millimetres. And that there, if I can keep the light off the bloody thing, that there's $12. And they are the sharpest drills. They're just bloody good stuff. Yeah, Renegade doesn't help me at all. It's just how it is. It's just a good product. And I think I've showed it in before, but then you go to a little drill set. You can pop them in your pocket and head bush if you, well, as long as you're not doing anything major. Yeah. So anyway, with the laser engraver at work, I've been trying to put a bit of practice in on that and looking for little ideas to do. And mainly the gasket part is coming along well. The drawing part, I'm working on the drawing part, so I'm trying to do little knick-knacky things all along. And I was talking to Jude about it, and she said, oh, she saw something, and I ended up finding it on YouTube, where a fella had, he had a couple of tongue depressors, and he put a little sign on for seeds. So I thought, well, there's a challenge, see if we can do that. So anyway, so we went and got some, and so I found a little bit of clip art there and popped on and put the font on, centered it. That's a bit better, seems to be focused a bit better. Centered it and did a few. Nicole that works with us, she's a gardener, and I did a set for her, and the carrots, and look, that's just to teach me. And anyway, Jude thought that was a good idea, so I thought, oh well, I'll give it a run. So we did a few of those, and look, I'm quite happy with them. It showed me. I'll put this way, eh? God, it's hard to get good help. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with them. I'm getting the gist of it, you know, doing a square. You got to start off with a square and roll the corners in the drawing. We're still using Inkscape. Anyway, I got the buggering around with it, and I like a bit of mischief. So I thought they looked like a bit of a shit stirrer. So so I made a few shit stirrers. So just look, once again, just as a drawing exercise, just to use the laser. So yeah, the funny thing is with it is with the little smiley face, you can actually feel that where it's light, it's untouched by the laser, and those lasers are bloody accurate, eh? So yeah, look real good. The that was just a bit of fun. While I was doing it, I can set up a run in the laser. It's only a little laser, but I can set up a run and do probably 10 of those sticks at a time. And the idea of that was just to work out the feeds and speeds, and you know, you can dial the power of the laser in, and you can dial the speed of the laser, and a combination of those two decides how we go. I've got in my cleanup here. There's an International M engines, and they're a very popular engine, an American-made international engine. I've got, I don't know how many I have here, 10 or a dozen I suppose, of different sizes, and I've had spare gaskets tucked away there for them. So yeah, so while I've got the gaskets, I might just do a run of International M gaskets just to do it. And there's a few little bits I've had laser cut, you know, on the International M engines, on the choke. There's a little choke plate we've had laser cut, and sits down in front. So I'll just fiddle with some of that, I think, and see how we go. But as for work in the shed, we've just been doing the clean-up, nothing else. I'm getting bloody sick of it. I'm really keen to chuck a spanner on a tractor, I tell you. This little TE20, like I said, I'm going to bring that back here today. I don't know whether I'll bring it back long ways and have it along my bench here, which may be handy. You know, we'll just see, I suppose. But we're getting very close to running that, and I do have a hydraulic pump kit and a few other things, so we're looking for light, and I've got a great light up there, I've got a great light here. On the bench, the lights are that good, I'm getting a couple of shadows. so I'll have to deal with that somehow. But yeah, look, apart from cleaning the shed up and doing all that, there hasn't been a lot going on. So look, I'll go handheld for a bit and I'll show you some of the signs we've had around the place. Okay, we'll go for a bit of a walk around the shop. I've got me Johnny sitting over here. All the tractors will be shifted around a little bit shortly, but we just have to work towards it. Now the little TEA, it's going to end up over there, and that'll give me a chance to clean this bay properly. The 135 multi over there near the door, a lot of bits and pieces around there. There's a lot of parts I've taken out of that I need to scrap. I need to hop into that. That's on today's agenda, I'm hoping. And this is our new working area. There used to be shelving all through there, so look, you would easily fit 2 tractors in there to work on. But yeah, we'll worry about that when the time comes. I've got to get the old 1948 TEA 20 bonnet up with my bonnet collection up there, and the hoist bay, there's still a bit of moisture there in the hose from where I pressure cleaned out yesterday. But look, the floor's looking lovely. I'm quite happy with that. There's spare axles I have to do up out of 35s, TE20s. I think there's 16 spline ones, 19 splines and 35 ones there. But yeah, I've got quite a bit of junk around the 135 to do. And that bench along there, that's 20 foot long, 6 metres. That needs a tidy up. But some of the signs we've put up, now this is a big vinyl sign. I'll try and zoom in a bit. That was for Baldwin filters. Now we sold Baldwin filters for probably 18, 19 years, and they got bought out by Parker Hannaford. Well, as soon as Parker Hannaford bought them, they went to shit. They told us in advance to grab an extra 3 months worth of filters, because in the shift from Baldwin to Parker Hannaford that they would have a supply issue. Well, that supply issue never come good. Yeah, so look, we buy Baldwin from another supplier now, and yeah, look, we've mainly gone to Wicks and Sparex and Bearco for our filters. The Secura filter sign there, we did sell Secura for a little while, and yeah, we still do, but not as much as we used to. And a lot of the reason for that is because Bearco and Sparex, they've both really jumped on there, picked up their game. Great Western Tillage, Aussie company. Yeah, that's where we get all our discs and bits and pieces, good to deal with. Now that sign there, that was in front, I'll just move around a little bit. That was our old Sparex sign from out the front of the building. And you can see that that was that's their old logo. So the Sparex logo went from that. And look, that, I don't know how old that is, it's getting on. But that was when they had, you know, all the catalogue books and the bits like that. That was the sign from out the front of our building when we got flooded. But it went from that sign, and then they went to this sign, which they had for a while. But now when I swing around, I'll try not to get you too dizzy. That's the new Sparex sign. So I'll try and hold that still for you. That sign there that I've just clamped onto the top of my toolbox, that's from the top of a Sparex parts stand. So I just clamped it on there just to do it really. LSA Oils and Grease, that's all we sell in at Queensland Tractor Spares. The Bearco PDO, we sell the Bearco PDO product. There's some of just junk on my toolbox. The old Bundy Bear's shed sticker. But when we come around again, so yeah, Donaldson filters. We were a Donaldson agent for some time, and I'll come back so I can get it all into one shot. There we go. We were Donaldson filter agents for some time, but they come and saw us and said, oh, you need to pick your sales up. And we said, oh, why is that? And they said, oh, you're not spending enough. And we said, well, you know, we got Sparex, Bundy, and all that. So, but we spent about 3,500, 4,000 on 4-wheel drive filters. And in the end, the rep come and saw us and he says, oh, look, you're not selling enough, you know, 2 or 3 grand a month, not enough. We're closing your account. You're going to have to buy Donaldson off someone else in town. So we said, oh, that's all right. So we just took the signs down and don't deal with them. Quality tractor parts, we bring parts in from them twice a week probably. They sent me a spare sign the other day and some stuff, so I thought, oh bugger it, put it up in the shed here. That's another Bearco one. There's an old Sparex sign that was on something we had, I can't recall which. My old favourite John Deere sign. Then when we come across, we'll come around the hoist here if we can. And there's an old Bearco sign. And the sign above there, back years ago, the second shed we had when we went to town was in 9 Aitkenhead Street, Bundaberg. And for the locals, that used to be the old William Adams shed, and we had a 5-ton overhead crane. And that was good, but we ended up buying the shed behind there. So anyway, that's all the signs done. I've still got the Bundy Bear shed stencils around the place, and I've just about got all the shelving sorted here now. It could be a bit tidier for sure, but I didn't realise I had so many aerosols tucked away here. Some of them are Dad's too. When he passed on, I had to clean all his stuff out, so there's quite a few there, but I do have still cartons of them up there to go. Oh, I've got a couple of high voltage signs and things. Might put them up, eh? Who knows? But yeah, we're just getting there slowly. This little fridge here, I just keep gaskets and a bit of thinners and that in there so it's not flammable so much. The engine crane, I folded the engine crane up and brought over in behind the press. Now I don't know, I think last week when I did the stew the press wasn't here and probably that bench wasn't there, I don't know. This little walk around bench, it's just doing what it's supposed to do. It's just a flat surface to chuck junk in and sort it out of. So, but yeah, the press is there with the air pump. I've put a couple of, because the air pump's inside and not out in the walkway, I've put a bar into the press there, so if something happens and the bed comes down quickly, it hits the bar and doesn't snap the fitting out of the air pump. Best thing I ever did, that air pump. That hand pump on the air and Forbes is just shit. That little air pump, she's just a cracker. Yeah. Good control. Yeah. So anyway, that's about it for our little walk around. We've still got the 2030 in bits, and we've got the 135 and Goldie sitting there, and we're tossing up which way to go, whether we do a 23C or whether we do a 65. We'll just see. We can't make our mind up. We'll probably unload the Farmall 100. We're thinking about doing that. Yeah, it's hiding in the back there. It's a nice tractor. I've got a few bits and pieces to put on it and tidy it up before I look at removing it or getting it out of the shed here, but yeah, all in all, the old shed, she's coming up nice, and as far as the filming area goes, up here under these big bright lights, that's what I've been looking for. Well, there you go. That's our little walk around the shed. Today's going to be tidying the shed up once more. I'm going to get that TE20. Like I say, I'm not sure whether we're going to bring it in long ways here or just back it in here. We'll just see, whichever gives us the best filming angles and the best light, I suppose. So I'll get that back and that bay cleaned up today, and hopefully around the 135, and then we'll be able to yeah, start hopping into tractors again. I've got a little 23C engine a fella gave me out the front, and I'd like to bring it in on the stand and just strip it. We're not going to put it together, it's just for parts only. And the reason we're doing that is on a 23C engine you cannot buy cam bearings, so I've bought the stuff to make them, some PB1 to make them. The oil pump, where the oil pump goes into the housings on the 23C engine, you can buy a new rotating assembly, but where the oil pump shaft goes into the body, there's a little bushes there, you can't buy them that I'm aware of. I've bought the PB1, the phosphor bronze, to make those bushes, and there was something, on the injection pump drive, when the drive comes out you've got the idle shafts and all that. They get worn in the housing and worn over time, so I'm going to use this parts engine to just give me the sizes, and possibly I can recondition the parts off that, and when I'm doing the rebuild on, say, one of the FE35s, yeah, perhaps we'll have parts ready to go, or we'll have the measurements, and I'll try and draw them up so anyone else doing one up, they can have the drawings and they know the bearing size and all that sort of thing. So if you're in England, America, wherever you may, New Zealand, wherever you happen to be, you'll have a document that you can take to a good engineer and get these cam bushes made and these other bits as well. So that's something, but we're just going to pull that apart. We don't know what's wrong with it. I've got the whole tractor out there, so we'll just see. But hopefully today, part of my plan is to get it on the engine stand, and I will film pulling it apart. It's just interesting stuff, hopefully, and then we'll do a little series on my night time in the shed doing the bushes and that and see. But look, that's it for this week. Thanks for dropping by. We'll be back into some mechanical work soon. I'm getting closer and closer all the time. Boy, I'm getting sick of this shit. All right, thanks for dropping by, everyone. Have a great week, and we'll catch you all next week.